So I just went into CEX, traded in graded cards for cash. And in this video, you'll find out how I did it and everything that you need to know on the whole entire process and if it was worth it. Spoiler alert, it's not. CEX, the trade-in store for video games and electronics in the UK, is now taking in graded Pokemon cards, specifically from PSA and Ace. But what cards, what grades, what languages, and probably most importantly, what price? Where do they get their prices from? What database do they use? And how up to date is that database? All these questions and more will be answered in this video. But first, I had to get a bunch of different graded slabs to test out what CEX would actually take in. Luckily, I got a ticket to Card Mania from Quirky and the Geek, who I bought a Trico plushie and a card from. So shout out to them. But I spent the card show going around buying Ace graded slabs that I could try and trade in at CEX to see what they would take in and what value they would offer for different things. Here are all the graded cards that I bought to take to CEX to test to see what prices they would give me. And then the next day, I headed to CEX. All right. Wish me luck. When I got there, I had a quick look around to see if they had any graded cards up for sale on the display, and didn't see anything, so I queued up to ask if they'd take in my graded cards. I heard that you guys take in graded Pokemon cards, because I didn't know how it was, like if it was all places or if it was only certain CEXs, but...
PSA and Ace.
Great, I've got only Ace, so that's good.
Cool, we only take 8s, 3 10s.
Okay, amazing. I also heard maybe that it was only English. I don't know. Is it only English? Okay.
Even through them, it's only certain cards we take from them.
That's also what I was wondering. So what's the like the database that you guys use? Is it like built into
no
CEX?
Idea. It's
right.
So if I can...
Is it the same like software that you guys would use for games and stuff?
So my screen doesn't flip around that well.
That's alright.
So if you go to graded collectibles... Trading
is this accessible for
everyone
anyone?
can access
amazing.
these are all on the website. Oh, actually, apparently Arndale have a graded card in. They have a promo Ancient Mutants cellophane.
Okay, sick. I assume at some point then all these cards are going to be for sale at some point in CEXs. Because I was expecting to see, if you guys took them in, to see them like displayed or somewhere.
Straight in the window.
Oh, right, amazing.
Yeah, Mega Evolutions, that's very recent.
It was another reason why I brought it, because I wanted to see how recent the cards in that you take, but I didn't realise it was all available online, which is great.
That's a Japanese one, which is unfortunate. I love the Ace.
It's really nice.
The Ace slabs are really,
Ace slabs are
really
amazing,
nice.
aren't they? Yeah, I grade with Ace myself, but I wanted to get a bunch to test for this video I was doing, so I went out and I was like, okay, I guess it's an excuse to buy a lot of really nice cards. So.
Unfortunately, it's not looking like we take many of these ones.
It's okay.
Besting Rifles, Ethan's Typhlosion, we do take.
Right.
Ace 10, we sell it for £100. We offer 74 in voucher or 64 in cash.
Alright, that's not too bad. Is that the only one out of these that's
on
the system? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you keep going.
Well, this might be a little too recent.
Sure.
This is like 2-3 weeks ago this set came out?
Yeah, I think about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
So very recent.
So out of your stack,
it's just that one.
Just this fellow here, yeah.
And what was it? You said 74, was it trade?
74 in voucher, 64 in cash is what we offer, and then we sell it out for 100.
So you said you didn't know anything about how the like database part
Yeah,
of it
I don't know
works.
how they like get their prices or how it all appears on here. That's head office's job.
Yes, sure. It was interesting because one of the like most contentious things at the moment in Pokemon is like pricing stuff.
Yeah.
So being as up to date as possible, even for like Pokemon vendors and stuff, is really hard. So I was wondering if because like people go off like eBay last sold and things like that. I was like, I'm sure that you guys wouldn't be, but then I was like, so what are they doing? It's interesting. Oh, so you can actually go on the. Oh, sick. Yeah, that's the Ace grading report. Oh, that's sick.
Yes. So as part of our testing with them, we do have to bring this up to actually make sure
like
that
authenticate
it's a legit card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Is there like a reason that only some of them are on the system and some aren't? Is it a process of like updating it and going through and?
No idea. It's
because it's still in trial.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So it's still in trial.
Sick. What's the ratio of like Ace versus PSA? I'd imagine there'd maybe be more
Usually
PSA.
If there is a PSA variant, there is also an Ace variant.
Oh, really? You do both at the same time? Great.
Ace is PSA is more American based. Ace is more Ace is UK based.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you very much for your help.
Happy to help out.
So that was very useful. The guys there were super kind, super nice. They didn't take in many of the cards, but now that I know that you can have a look at it online, I'm just going to go and have a look at it online. But also, at the Arndale in Manchester, they have an ace graded card available to buy. So I'm going to go have a look at the price of that online and then compare the prices of that card to see if it's worth picking up, because I might do. Okay, so there's a couple of things to recap after this visit. Their database is just their website that is accessible to anyone. You can look up this right now. Just go on CeX's website, click on gaming, and graded cards will be one of the options. And it will show every single card that is listed on their site that they either sell or take in. So you can check to see if they will accept your card before going, find out what price they would take in trade or cash, and also how much they sell one for, so how much you would pay if you were buying one. The reason they don't have any for sale, apart from the one in Manchester, which we will get to, is for two reasons. One, not many people are submitting their cards through CeX, and obviously they can only list graded cards if they've had some in stock traded in, but also because of their prices, which we're going to talk about, almost any time a graded card gets logged in at a store, it's being bought out instantly. I went back to CeX to ask them a couple more questions and found out that every single CeX, whenever they take something in and put it on their store floor, they also update it onto their online database. And from what they told me, every single store works like this. So the second that someone trades in their graded card, once they've authenticated it and logged it in, it will then be up on their website, available for anyone in the country to order online. So we'll get more in depth into their prices a little bit later, but essentially all their prices are wrong, but not in the way you might think. Usually you'd expect a store in this situation to have an inflated market that is like trying to take advantage of the insane Pokemon boom that we're in and selling cards at maybe 2 times, 3 times, 4 times their value. But actually, the prices that CeX have listed that they will sell the cards for is significantly lower than the last solds that you might find on eBay or just their market price in general. This unfortunately means that the price that they offer you in trade, which seems to vary depending on the value of the card. But as we saw in the example of Ethan's Typhlosion, they valued it at £100 and would offer me £74 in credit or £64 cash, which is a good trade percentage, right? 75% trade for a retail store is actually like much better than most local game stores. Anyway, cut back to me going through the website for the first time. You'll see what I mean. All right, so I got back to my office. We're on CeX's website, CeX, C Exchange, however you want to pronounce it. And then I have no idea where it would be. Is it new accessories, gaming? Let's just type in graded cards. Okay, sick. And then you've got all of the graded cards that they potentially have. But as you can see, they're all out of stock. In stock online. The only card that is available is a PSA 10 Ancient Mew Cello. Why is it a cello, dude? Okay, so obviously I knew that it didn't mean cello. I was just memeing, but I really thought it was just cut off and cello was the start of a longer word. Turns out it wasn't. Later on, I realized what it meant. Wait a bit before leaving your hate comments, please. But you can see the prices of every single other card that they have. So if you had the Charmander promo, the ETB promo from Obsidian Flames, in an Ace 9, you could buy it for £30 if they had it, and you'd be able to get £20 trade-in or £17 cash. But it's out of stock, so they don't have it available. So I'm assuming if I traded in my Ethan's Typhlosion, which I guess if I type in Ethan's Typhlosion, I think this is just what the guy did at the store. And in an Ace 10, it says it's worth £100. But if we go on eBay and have a look at Ethan's Typhlosion and an Ace 10, the most recent one that I can find is £125. And that was sold at the end of September, and we're already a week into November, so the price has definitely gone up on this. I picked it up at a card show, as you can see here, for £130. You know, this is the same video, I've just realized. And I think that was a decent price. I think that is the at least market value for it. If not, maybe it's gone up a little bit. Oh, I found another one for £130 from October 3rd, which makes perfect sense. It's about a month ago and it was £130, so it's probably at least the same price. And I found one on the 29th of August, so nearly 3 months ago, for about £100. So I don't know how good of a judge of time this is for price values and stuff, but I have a feeling that the CeX website is maybe taking prices from 3 months ago. Okay, so I've since looked into this a little bit, and CeX started accepting graded cards around 3 months ago, the end of August, start of September. And as I've been told, this is a trial period, a test phase for CeX to sell and buy graded cards. I doubt they have added many new cards or changed changed many of their prices since this initial start, which would make sense from what we're looking at with all these eBay's last sold listings. It is worth noting that a CEX employee told me that they update their prices daily, but either that's not true or they are updating their prices daily, but they're just updating them really badly because it's just wrong. So if I traded this in, they would sell it online or in their store for £100, which right now would be getting it £30 cheaper. It would be an absolute steal. So it's not that they're taking in really low and trying to rip people off. It's just that they are also taking in quite low, but most places when they take in trade, take in low. Basically 75% for trade for a store isn't actually that bad, which is exactly what they're doing here. So if this was the actual price, £130, they'd take £97 in trade. So close to £100, which is what I'd expect from a vendor for this probably. So if they have the cards available on their database, trading in isn't actually that bad as long as the price that they would sell it for is the actual market price of the card. So on their database, they have 553 listings currently, which sounds like quite a lot. But when you realize each card has a PSA and ace, 8, 9, and 10 per card, it's actually only 92 different cards. So not really that many, all things considered. So the fact that the Ethan's Typhlosion that I had was actually one of those 92 cards is actually kind of lucky. As you saw, I brought in a bunch of different cards, including the Mega Absol, to specifically see if they have any recent sets available. But now I know they have their database online, I checked, and they don't even have anything from Black Bolt White Flare on their system, let alone Mega Revolution that came out 7 weeks ago. Okay, so let's now have a look at this Ancient Mew cello promo. I assume it's meant like collection or collectors or something. Unfortunately, because it doesn't say the year that it is, this isn't very helpful to us, right? We need to know if it's the 1999 or the 2000s one. But if it's the 2000s one, it's probably going for around £1,000 and over £1,000. So this actually being £900 is a pretty good price. Because the Pokemon market is so crazy right now, you can actually make money from buying cards at CEX. This is actually like a good price for the card. Because even from like months ago, this card was going for way more. I really think CEX got their prices in August and just haven't changed them since, which is crazy. Am I gonna go buy this card? I can't spend £900 just for a fucking YouTube video. All right, well, I'm at the Arndale to go and buy the card. So I walked through the Arndale to CEX to see if I could find the Mew in the shop display. And that was when I realized I'd made a mistake. Cello was cello, as in cellophane. If you don't know, if you submit a card with PSA that is still, it's a promo card, like still in its seal, they don't grade the card, they grade the cellophane that it is in. And the price for the graded cellophane promo sealed is a lot less than the actual graded card would be. The sealed cellophane is roughly £300 in a PSA 10. So seeing the price of £900 for it sealed is insane. So this made me want to check the price for the PSA 10 Mew, the actual card, and on their website it is also £900. So I think someone at CEX must have accidentally taken in the sealed promo at the regular Ancient Mew price, and now they're having to try and recoup the losses that they've made by selling it at the non-sealed promo price. And more evidence to back this up is that you can't send in a sealed promo to trade. They don't accept it. You can see on their website. And also, you know, I mentioned they had 553 listings. Well, that doesn't actually divide into 92 perfectly, but if you take out one extra listing, aka the Manchester Arndale listing that has the sealed promo that they don't take in anymore, it divides perfectly into 92. So they definitely took it in by mistake and are trying to cover their losses. So obviously I won't be buying this, but I didn't want the whole entire trip to be wasted. Hi, you're right. I had a question about the graded card, the Mew that was in the thing. Could I have a look at it? Is that all right? Yeah. Do you want me to put it through? Yeah. I'm making a little video, is that all right? I won't get you in it, but can I film that? Yeah. Is that okay? Sorry. She did not trust me with this at all and had it gripped so hard when I went to hold it. There was a couple of questions that I wanted to ask about the card and like when did they get it in? What price did they take it in at? Was it a mistake? But she clearly thought I was a weirdo for filming and then thought I was going to try and steal the card. So I panicked and didn't ask any questions and just left. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Okay, so that was a bit of a fail. Obviously, cello doesn't mean cello. So I drove back to the first CEX to trade in the Ace 10 Ethan's Typhlosion. I know it's a bad deal at £100 value. We've already talked about this, as the cash is only £64 for an £130 slab. But I have to trade in something to show you guys the process for this video, and it's the only slab they'll take.
Hi, yeah, I was in here yesterday. I've got a graded card traded.
So when I was in the store, I tried to have a bit of a conversation with them about their prices being different compared to market price.
If the prices on there were accurate to like the prices that people do on like eBay and stuff, I think loads of people would come in and trade them in, because the prices that you're offering, like the percentage, is really good. I'm not trying to haggle my way up to that. I'm saying like in the future for the system, it would be so, it would actually be sick.
So I want to be clear, the guy serving me and the people that served me at the previous time that I went to CeX have been great. But there was one guy that shouted, "We don't go off eBay last sold," like rudely in the middle of my conversation. I think he might have been the manager, and I think he was just annoyed that I was like making a video on it, which is ironic because I wouldn't have said a single bad thing about CeX if this guy wasn't rude. Because I didn't even mention eBay last sold. I wasn't trying to haggle the price down. I was just trying to point out something that might help CeX and customers both have a better experience. Because I knew in making this video, at this point, the takeaway would be, don't bother trading your cards into CeX, it's not worth it. And I wanted there to maybe be like a light at the end of the tunnel, because there is potential in trading your cards at CeX being sick. The percentages they give are pretty good if they just took in cards at a good value and then sold the cards at that same value. Like, the percentage is fine. If this was valued at its market value, which is £130, and then I got 75% of that for trade-in value, that's great. But when you value it at 100 and I get 75% of 100, it's not great. So I was hoping for at least a little bit of, I don't know, someone at CeX acknowledging that, yeah, there is a bit of a price discrepancy. We're working on it. Something like that. Or at least saying like where they get their prices from then if it's not eBay last sold. Are you just randomly making up the prices if you're not checking the marketplaces where cards are sold? Because even if you're using like the Collector app or something like that, Collector uses eBay last sold. So I don't know how else you find the market price of Pokemon cards without looking at the market that they're sold on. But anyway, they took in my card, but had to book in a session to authenticate it. So they gave me a little receipt and then sent me outside.
All right, so I got to wait 10 minutes. I think for someone to be free to appraise it and make sure that the card's okay. So I've left it with them, but I got a receipt. And they're like a real store, so I can't imagine getting scammed by them. Although I am getting scammed because I'm getting £65 cash, I'm pretty sure, for a £130 slab. But I'm willingly scamming myself for you guys for the video to see how it goes, you know? I was trying to explain that like if they list it at £100, it's gonna be like super cheap and they will have people biting their hands off for it that know what they're doing. And then some other guy, who I assume was the manager, shouted, "We don't go off eBay last sold." I'm like, yeah, well, what do you go off then? That's what I'm asking. But they said they changed their prices daily, which I feel like they've worked on that answer now because I came in yesterday. Because there ain't no way that they do their prices daily, bro. If they do their prices daily, they're doing their prices wrong. And again, it only benefits them if they get their prices right, because their sell price at £100 is crazy and they're missing out on £30 of value from that slab. But it's such a shame. It's so close to being worth recommending. Oh well. Right, now I just gotta wait 10 minutes.
Once I queued up, I was asked for my email to send over an email receipt, and then there was some QR code that I had to scan that didn't work because I didn't have signal, wasn't really their fault. But I also gave them my email and never received a receipt to my email, so I don't know what happened, but I don't need the receipt. It was just, we spent a lot of time trying to do that for none of it to work. But I did get my £64 in cash.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Perfect. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.
So, was it worth it? I mean, obviously not. I'm sure you can tell at this point. I would have got more money if I traded it in at a card store or a vendor at a card show or pretty much anywhere else. But I want to reiterate that they're not doing this as some like shitty, shady thing. It would actually be better for us, but also better for them if they just updated their prices and made it accurate so they could then sell more products for more money. And so that submitting cards, and so that people submitting cards would get more value, which in turn would mean that they would would trade in more of their cards and therefore make CeX more money. It would be better for everyone, but until CeX do any sort of changes to their prices, I cannot recommend sending in any graded cards to them whatsoever. However, there might be a couple of deals to pick up on their website. If you ever see graded cards go up, make sure to check their market price and compare, because more than likely CeX's prices are cheaper than that. But I will add a caveat to this, that CeX might update their prices to way higher than market price after this video goes out. So I don't want to say like, oh, just buy all the things that CeX ever list at their prices because their prices are cheap. And then when this video goes out, they then make their prices expensive. You know, I don't know what they're going to do. I just want to say at the time of making this video, the cards that I have checked are significantly cheaper than their actual market price when they're listed on CeX. Okay. I hope this video was helpful, and if you can think of anything new or interesting in Pokemon that I could cover in depth and that you want to know more about, then let me know. I'll do a video on it. I'll be the guinea pig so you don't have to test it out, you know? And if you like this video, subscribe. There's a bunch of other videos like this. If you like this one and you watch this long, I'm sure you would like most of my videos on this channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!